So, I already did my review for Suicide Squad just a little while ago, and I'll be honest, I watched the movie and I avoided all like press beforehand and like reviews, everything, but I heard like, oh, it's getting kind of shit on, and before I did my review, I kind of just took a quick peek and I was like, yeah, they really shit on this movie and I liked it. And I went and did the review, and then after I watched it, edited, upload the whole thing and all that, I watched some other people's reviews, and some people brought up some good points that I was like, okay, I didn't think of that. So there's some things that when I was talking about the movie, giving my likes and dislikes, criticisms and all that, it's like there's a few things I didn't quite factor in because I didn't think about at the time. I was very positive on the movie, and not that I'm not positive on it, I still really liked the movie. It was my favorite DC movie so far. DC EU, not all DC movies, I mean fucking Dark Knight. But of this new DC EU, this is my favorite of them. Not by much. I all like them pretty much around the same. This one was just the most fun, enjoyable experience because obviously went for a lot more levity. But yeah, it's time to just get into some spoilers and maybe some more criticisms that I didn't think of. So yeah, let's get into it. Suicide Squad. So first up, let's talk about all the things I liked. And yeah, the use of all the characters for the most part really worked. There's some that were underserved, but overall, the use of them was pretty much really damn good. Harley Quinn, a lot of great Harley Quinn stuff, although the big problem with her that I didn't think about at the time was that I thought it was cool. They're doing the mad love story in this, and I think that's cool. They're utilizing it. I'm like, good, awesome, it's a good story. Nice to see these little nods, some new things from like the new 52, I think it's called, stuff like that, where she jumps in the chemicals and all. But then I was like, oh yeah, I guess it is true though. They kind of just skimmed over it barely and didn't go totally in depth, which is a good story. And hey, you know what? All these stories, we're never gonna full-length mad love story, full-length Dark Knight Returns, a full-length Death of Superman. They're just not gonna do that. They're gonna pick and choose little stories, use the stuff that's awesome and works. I mean, that's what Nolan did. He took pieces of The Killing Joke, pieces of like Long Halloween, Nightfall, took little things that work, and we're fine with that because we read the comics, we know the awesome stories, and would it be nice to see them translated in full form, done perfectly on the big screen? Yeah, but most of the movies are just gonna pick and choose little moments. So they picked and choose the best moments of Mad Love and just quickly threw it out there so we didn't get super in-depth with it. It's not going to ruin my life, but it was good to see it nonetheless. It was cool, and that was my favorite parts with the Joker, really, was when it was the Mad Love, him corrupting Harley. He's like Hannibal Lecter, and she's interviewing him, and he's just like, he's getting in her head. He's like a silver-tongued little devil. He can get in her head, manipulate her, because he's really smart, and he ends up talking her into willfully jumping into like chemicals. It's like, yeah, the guy's pretty fucking deranged. He's pretty mentally clever. That's what I liked. That was creepy Joker shit that I liked. When Joker's just a random gangbanger trying to get a dude like, here, have Harley, have sex with her, whatever. She's yours, she's your whore right now. Oh, you don't want her? Okay then, bam, 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 pop. Alright, let's go on a car chase. Like that type of shit, I hate it. I'm like, I don't understand the point of the scene. It just seems kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Really, that type of shit really annoyed me. But overall, Harley Quinn was pretty much perfect. Loved it. Margot Robbie's fantastic as Harley Quinn. Enjoyed it so much. She was great. Like the best moment, and it was so brief, but the moment where she's in the Harley Quinn outfit with Joker and they're dancing and it's recreating that classic image from the Harley Quinn comic. It's like, that's the type of little shit that's like, it's just there for like 3 seconds, but it was amazing and my head just exploded. I was like, yeah, that's good stuff. I really like Will Smith in this. He was a great Deadshot. And he had a good arc, you know, with his daughter and everything. I was fine with all that. But Jared Leto's Joker, it's just like, it's so problematic. Because overall I hate it, but there's little things like that weird, he's getting in Harley's head, stuff like that I thought was really good. But then a lot of it was really, really bad. And apparently, and not even apparently, I think it's more than obvious, even if you watch the trailers, you know this to be true, they cut a lot of his shit out. Remember the part, I can't wait to show you my toys, and stuff like that, and the part where he's like shooting and he's laughing his ass off and he's like burnt up and he's got a grenade, bye bye, stuff like that, that was all cut. Apparently there's gonna be him returning after the helicopter crash and stuff, and apparently I've heard 2 conflicting things where either it was gonna portray him and Harley as a lot more loving and like he really cared for her, or is going to portray as more the classic story where it's an abusive relationship. Like he was going to push her out of the helicopter, which I believe to be true, because when you see that helicopter scene, the editing there was a little weird, and I forgot about when I thought about it again, I was like, yeah, it was edited kind of weird. But that sounds about right. Like, he'd push her out, and that's why she's all pissed off and gets rid of the puddin necklace, and she's like done with Joker. Because, yeah, the abusive relationship, he pushed her away, tried to kill her. But in the movie, it's like they're getting shot at, he pushes her out, and it's a little weird. And yeah, it's a bummer that they cut out Joker. That's the thing I can't defend these Warner Brothers with these DC movies. I can't defend. They're cutting these movies to shit, and the editing of really long movies. Batman v Superman has 3 hours, all that content, and they cut out some pretty good stuff there, some stuff that made it flow better, some stuff that gave Superman something to do in the movie. And this, they're cutting out all the Joker stuff. It's like, stop what you're doing right now, because if Justice League ends up the same way, it's like, we have to cut out a lot of stuff, but don't worry, there'll be a Blu-ray. It's like, you're fucking up really bad here. Here's what DC and Warner Brothers need to realize they have to do. In the script phase, don't just accept an okay script. It's like, this is kind of okay, it's still got a lot of script problems and shit that doesn't work, but we'll do it because whatever, we need to hurry up and get a movie out. Take your time, write a good script within a certain number of pages. You know the rule, like 1 page equals 1 minute of film? You know, pretty much go by that rule. So if you've got like a 180-page script, that's 3 hours, you're not going to release a 3-hour movie, have them rewrite it and change some things and take some things out. Because you're just filming movies that are just going to be edited down anyway. They know this ahead of time. They know that they're filming movies that are too long and are going to be edited down. That's a problem. Make a contained 2-hour, 20-minute movie. Don't make these long 3-4-hour movies that you have to edit and cut out all the good stuff. Because apparently there's a lot of Joker stuff that we're going to have to wait for a Blu-ray or whatever. And it's like, that pisses me off. Because also, what I never considered in the movie, because I was more upset about, I don't like this Joker, I don't like this portrayal, I don't like the characterization, the writing on it, I hate it. So I never thought about the fact that he's totally useless in this movie. Besides the like flashbacks of Harley, and like showing how he messed with her head and turned her into Harley Quinn, he serves no purpose in the movie. Really, like, what is he? The whole movie, he's basically just trying to go save Harley, and he doesn't. He doesn't rescue her because they crash, and then he rescues her at the end. Like, his use in this movie was utterly useless, and it was so little. It was like about 10 minutes of Joker in this whole movie, so he could have actually been cut out, and the marketing was very Joker heavy. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a big fucking problem. And apparently there's stuff with Killer Croc they cut out, where how Batman captures Killer Croc. That would have been cool to see him and Croc fight. I love Killer Croc. In this, he was a little too thuggish, but it was kind of cute at times. No, baby, I'm beautiful. It's like, I like Killer Croc. I love him in the animated series, and him and Batman fighting would have been nice. I like, though, Batman, he was used minimalistically. They didn't need to cram Batman in as a side character. It's like, he's basically this ghostly figure that just takes all of them to jail. There's something nice about that. And then at the end, he sent up the Justice League again. And yeah, the editing in the first half of the movie is very choppy and just quick paced. Like, a lot of the Joker scenes have editing up the ass, and a lot of it didn't work. But then there's things like when Harley's getting taken to Arkham and it lights up in pink neon. Little things like that were kind of cute and fun. But some of the scenes were edited so quick and distractingly, like a music video. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it really didn't. Another thing I heard complained about a lot was logic, and this never bothered me. So things like, why is Harley in the Suicide Squad? That's never been a complaint of mine, ever. And I'll admit, it's a fair criticism to say, logistically, they would have, Amanda Waller has no purpose to put her in the squad. She's just a crazy person with a bat. Like, that's not going to help you in combat at all. Does she kick a little ass in the movie? Yeah. But overall, you don't send in a psychopath with a bat to save you in like a military squad. Yeah, Captain Boomerang, as useless as he might seem, his boomerangs do become useful. Deadshot, obviously. Rick Flag. Killer Croc even serves more purpose because he's a big brawler. He's a badass crocodile. A lot of the other crew had way more combat use than Harley Quinn. But it's like, we love Harley Quinn, and it's just, they put her in there because we love Harley Quinn, and I'm not questioning that much. Just like, yeah, it's a fun group. It's this squad, this ragtag group of criminals. And it's like, okay, I've never questioned that, so it doesn't bother me. The use of some people and not others. It's like Slipknot. He's not in the movie at all. Why? Because he's just that one character that we got it in the Assault on Arkham, and we get it here. He's the character of the show that they're not messing around and they'll kill you. Like in Assault on Arkham, it's KG Beast. He's like, I don't believe you. And his head gets blown off in this. Him and Boomerang is just like, no, they're bluffing. So he tries to take off and they blow his fucking head off. It's like, they're just proving with one small character that doesn't matter that we will kill you if we have to because you're bad guys. So it never bothered me that like his character got nothing. On retrospect though, I never thought about it at the time, but I was disappointed thinking about it more that like, Katana never got much of anything. She's very cool. It's like her sword will steal your soul, and also her husband's soul's trapped in that sword because it's the sword of the guy that killed her husband. And it's like, it's such cool stuff, but we got so little of her. It is very disappointing. I want more Katana next time because she was great, and I'm sure they probably edited down stuff with her in it. She was great, but we need a lot more her. Yeah, it's like some characters, Katana didn't quite get enough to do, and then Joker, and it's like, I didn't like Joker, but you know what, with more footage maybe it would have worked more. Maybe they cut out some really good stuff that was more enjoyable. I don't know. Going in, I didn't know there was going to be so much extra Joker footage, and after the movie, it was on my mind. It was just like, that was a fun ride of a movie. I enjoyed it. But in retrospect, now that I know, I'm upset about that. It's like, that's a bummer that there was more Joker stuff. It's like, as much as I hate it, I'll always take more Joker, and also the villain. And I kind of danced around this in the review, and I said Cara Delevingne was good, and I'll admit, she is good. I like her as June Moon? Or whatever. I liked her because I was very sympathetic. Like, she gets possessed by a witch, and then she really handled the conflict well of she hates becoming the Enchantress, and that conflict of she's afraid of the Enchantress and stuff. I liked her, but the Enchantress was kind of whatever, and then when she becomes the villain, I thought it was terrible, and that's why I said the villain didn't work for me at all, because it was pretty bad. She's just sitting there like belly dancing and creating a machine to destroy all humans, even though she's a witch. Her and her brother are like witches and don't really need a machine to do it. It's just totally convoluted and sucks. The villain didn't work for me. I said that. It sucked. It was really bad. It was generic. And yeah, all the villains they fight are pretty generic things that just knock over. It's like, yeah, that stuff does suck. And stuff like that. There's lots of jokes that I noticed in the trailer weren't in the movie, so that's odd. I don't know, because I thought it was a pretty funny movie, but I realized maybe they cut out a lot of the humor. I don't know. I still thought it was a fun movie, but then there was also a lot of setup for Justice League and stuff. There's an after-credit scene in this one, or mid-credit scene, because, you know, there's a little bit of setup when we see Captain Boomerang. He gets taken down by the Flash, and I'm like, holy shit, I did not know that was coming. What a pleasant surprise. They spoiled Batman was going to be in it because, well, the real-life people spoiled that because they were filming it in Toronto. So that was kind of ruined, and I guess they embraced it and said, okay, fine, here's him in the trailer because you know he's going to be in it anyway. They didn't need to. We could all just went in the movie like, I saw they were filming something. They didn't have to show it and confirm what we already knew anyway. But the Flash, he shows up and it's just real quick, punches him out, no honor among thieves. And I'm like, that's cool, just a little brief moment with the Flash. It looks great. He looks like a badass. He looks great as the Flash. And then at the end, Bruce Wayne's talking to Amanda Waller, and he's getting the files on all the metahumans, and like he's giving her shit, like shut down the Suicide Squad. They don't get along, portraying like, yeah, they're antagonistic, but they'll kind of work together because she gives them his files. And I thought it was a little weird that they had the Enchantress file in there because I'm pretty sure she's dead. And also, you wouldn't want her in the Justice League in general. It's like, yeah, she's a metahuman, but she's a witch, and they have a lot of trouble controlling her to begin with. It's weird they'd want her on the team at all. They really should have just from the beginning, like, alright, sorry June, and just stab the heart and light it on fire or something, because it's like, you don't trust a witch. You don't. Unless it's Scarlet Witch, I guess. You trust her. But yeah, he's got files, and he's got Flash and Aquaman. It's like, that's cool. I never thought, like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, Enchantress is in the Justice League because it said Unite the Seven. They're gonna have her. It's like, she's dead, right? They killed her. She's done. Okay? That, like, I never thought. I just thought, here's all the metahuman files, whatever. And I also like the scene where it shows Batman apprehending them, like, taking down Deadshot. I thought was nice, where it's like, don't do this in front of your daughter. And it's like, that was good, but I also like when they're taking out Joker and Harley, crashes in the water, Joker's gone, and Harley, he goes to get her, and she tries to knife him, it's just like, well, bam, and punches her out. The Batman v Superman Batman might have cut her throat with her own knife, but this one just knocks her out. He even does mouth to mouth. It's like, listen, I don't let people die. I'll dive in there to save you, even though you're villains and do bad shit. And then she sort of like grabs on and tries to make out with him a little, and he gets kind of disgusted, like, ugh. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, he probably liked it because it's Margot Robbie, but at the same time, he's like, I'm Batman, you're bad. But yeah, the villains suck. Just, once she becomes Enchantress and becomes the villain, it's just, logically, it's a little bit like, in general, don't trust a witch, but they were trying, and I guess it is a problem that, like, okay, she's breaking out, stab her heart. Okay, she gets kind of weakened. Alright, do it more, maybe. Like, something like that is bad. And when she becomes the villain, like I said, it never worked for me. Not in the first review, not now. But in retrospect, I'm a little more negative on the movie, a little bit, because yeah, now that I know, some of the editing really did neuter this movie a little bit. And at times I did notice, but with the Joker, learning what I learned, where it's like, there was a lot more Joker footage and stuff. It's like, that's very disappointing. And don't do that, Warner Brothers, okay? Just one thing, the one lesson to take away from this above all else, make movies with the intention of including everything theatrically. Don't make them knowing shit'll get cut out to be in a director's cut that's going to be better. Just make them all good to start with so we can go to the theater, see the best version of the movie, and be satisfied. And I still really enjoyed this movie, but, and even when I first reviewed it, I will admit I may have been slightly too positive on the movie because the villains did not work for me, and that is a problem. And you know, a lot of the Marvel movies, pretty much all of them, the villains don't work for me, but I have a fun time, so I still give the movies good ratings. But, you know, I will criticize the editing a little bit more, and I will criticize how bad the villains are, and the use of the Joker, and how I don't like the Joker. And some of the characters, like Katana, aren't served very well. But still, I'm still very positive on the movie, but I'm going to drop my rating down a little bit. I gave it a B+. I might have been a little too excited at the time. I'm going to give Suicide Squad a B, okay? But I still really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, like sometimes you talk about a movie, and then you think about it more, and you go, you know what? Time's passed, and I care a little bit less. Like, and even sometimes you think about a movie and you like it more. Like Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, I gave that like a B+. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, that was like an A-. I really liked Mission Impossible 5, and stuff like that happens, okay? So I'm not being like, oh, people are hating on it, I gotta lower the rating so people like me more. No, that's just thinking about it more. It feels more appropriate to give it a B. That's my feelings, but I still really enjoyed it, okay? If you didn't like it, that's fine. If you like the Joker, that's like your opinion, man, and that's okay. I got mine. And it's like, I like Suicide Squad, it's a fun time, but I don't like that fucking Joker. Not at all. By the way, I picked up a Cineplex magazine when I went to see it because I went to a different theater because I was off in Saskatoon at the time. And so I was like, oh, Harley Quinn, I'm going to enjoy this later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the Batman mask and enjoy myself. That's weird. No, it's not actually. She's very lovely looking. I'll be off in the shower. Thinking about holding Harley Quinn, but also thinking about Batfleck's ass in that shower. It's just like, oh. Yeah, that's my spoiler thoughts on Suicide Squad. Enchantress as a villain sucked. That was horrible. The stuff with Mad Love, I really enjoyed all the nods to the comics. That was cool. The little setup for Justice League was cool. And, like, the ending where they all go back to jail, but they get little things, that's cute. And then Joker breaks in and is gonna bust Harley out. Where that goes, that's a nice tease. Best we can hope for, I guess, is in a couple months Suicide Squad Director's Cut, Extended Cut, better version comes out on Blu-ray, and I can talk about that and be like, yeah, this is a better version. This is the one that earns the B+. It'll be the same as Batman v Superman. Yeah, comment below, tell me your thoughts on Suicide Squad, your spoilerific thoughts, whatever, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.